All right. All right. Peace, 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 peace. Give folks a second to come on in. All right. Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salamel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. We have a Rise of the Moors, Wakefield standoff case news update, and a couple of extras that I'm going to toss in there. But before I get to talking, actually, what I'm going to do first is play some footage from Jamal, who is the leader of the Rise of the Moor militia group. Him giving you an update on his case situation. Then we'll get to the particulars of the case. I got some notes here and some updates. And then we'll get to some additional information that is not directly connected to the news update, but it's connected to the overall story. So first, we're going to get to this this clip update from Jamal, and then I'm going to come back and give you some updates on the case and what to expect next from this situation. Peace, 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 peace.
When's the next court date? I have a court date January 22nd for Rhode Island. And then my trial date is scheduled for February 26th.
Massachusetts?
Yeah, Massachusetts, yeah. So for the Rhode Island case, I'm still waiting for the warrant and discovery. They haven't showed me the warrant. They haven't produced the warrant in Juju's case, and they haven't produced the warrant in Moreno's case. So January 22nd, I have to deny a deal on the record because they're trying to offer me something. And I'm going to tell the judge that I can't make an informed decision because I haven't seen the warrant. Because if a warrant doesn't exist, that means they had no right to be where they were, nor to touch my wife, and this should be dismissed. Because it's been 3 years, almost 4 years, and none of us have seen a warrant. None of us. And when Moreno asked for the warrant, he got an affidavit of the cops requesting one, which is not a warrant. That's a request for one, but that's not a warrant signed by a judge saying, yes, you have permission to go to this place and look for this person. So that's what that is. Judge Deacon, in his order, he said that my conduct is protected by the Second. So this is the Massachusetts case. The judge in Massachusetts said that my conduct was protected by the Second Amendment, but the arms that I had were weapons of war that are not commonly owned and possessed by law-abiding citizens, and based his denial of my motion on that. And he used a case from 2009 in California where they said that the AR-15 style rifle is not protected by the Second Amendment. But the federal courts in 2021 clearly specified in California, the same Californian court, federal court specified that these arms are protected by the Second Amendment. And they said it emphatically that it's protected. And then the day after Deacon made his order denying my motion, that same court and the same judge the next day issued another judgment reaffirming that those arms are protected by the Second Amendment and they are commonly owned, and they're more common than a Ford F-150. And that every time you see a Ford F-150, a Ford F-Series vehicle, every time you see one of them, imagine 100 AR-15s. That's what you're seeing. So this judge clearly used outdated case law that since Bruin has changed, and even before Bruin has changed. So He used case law from 2009 in California, but in 2021, the federal courts of California said, nope, these arms are protected. And then October 19th of last year, the day after Deacon made his order denying my motion, saying that these are weapons of war, not commonly owned, the federal courts reaffirmed their decision in 2021, post Bruin, saying these are commonly owned arms by law-abiding citizens. And then the judge, he kept using case law against people that were already convicted felons against me, and I've never been convicted of any felonies. So he's using case law that's not applicable to me. And August 2023, there was a judge in Lowell, Massachusetts, Judge Coffey, who he ruled that a New Hampshire resident who was lawfully carrying his arm and entered into the state of Massachusetts should not be treated as a felon for simply entering the state of Massachusetts. Therefore, the statute is unconstitutional as it applies to him. Once I got that case, I wrote an emergency motion. I sent it to my standby counsel to file it for me because it, cost me paper and ink and money to mail it. And I told him, hey, I just found out this decision. File this emergency motion for me so that way I can argue it. And he didn't do it. So this recent motion that I filed is arguing that I didn't get the opportunity to make this argument in my favor since the Coffey decision before Deacon made his decision because my standby counsel didn't do his job. So I shouldn't be punished for that, and you should let me make the argument before trial.
All right, so that was an update from Jamal, the leader from the Rise of the Moor militia group himself. And then got some notes here just to give you an update on the members. So just summarizing, if you didn't know already, there were 11 Rise of the Moors members that were arrested, with the guns and all of that Wakefield standoff. You can look it up. Of the 11, one was never charged because he was under 18. So that leaves 10. Since they've been arrested, they were arrested July 3rd, 2021. Since then, 3 of the remaining 10 have pled guilty. One person, the 3 that pled guilty, Aaron Johnson, Quinn Cumberlander, Wilfredo Hernandez. There is one person, that leaves 7. There is one person, Lamar Dow, who defaulted and basically blew trial. This was April 24, 2023. A warrant was issued for him, and no updates since. So he seems to be in the win. So that leaves 6 remaining Rise of the Moor members are waiting to go to trial. And of those 6 that are remaining, we have Omar Antonio, who had trial readiness and conference held on the 9th of January, 2024. His trial is set for February 7th, 2024. One thing that I found interesting is his attorney is a Christian William Esquire, not Jamal or Taj or a Rise of the Moorish person, but someone this Esquire that's been in the studied in a law degree, obviously. Next we have Connell Pierre, who also had trial readiness held on January 9th, 2024. His trial is also set for February 7th, 2024. So we have Omar and Connell Pierre have trial coming up on the 7th of February. And his attorney is named Austin Anden Matten. Didn't seem to be more here as well. We have Stephen Perez. His trial was set for February 26th. But it was rescheduled due to a habeas corpus issued to MDC Brooklyn, returnable for January 25th, 2021, a bail hearing. I'm learning this as I go. From my understanding, I'm thinking that he has another trial. He has another case that he's fighting in New York, and so he had to be transferred to New York for a bail hearing for that, and so that's why his jury trial for this Massachusetts case was rescheduled. Also, Jamal, in his update, he had mentioned two different cases. So just to clarify, apparently he has two different criminal cases. The one that I'm speaking about is the one in Massachusetts, and apparently he has another one in Rhode Island. But anyway, so we have Stephen Perez. His trial was rescheduled. It didn't have a date for his trial yet. So that's three of the six. Then we have Aban El Kurig. Jury trial was scheduled for the 26th of February, but it was rescheduled at the request of the Commonwealth. So the prosecution requested to reschedule that trial. Then we have Jamal. His jury trial was also scheduled for the 26th of February, and it was rescheduled at the request of the Commonwealth as well. And then lastly, we have Robert Rodriguez. His jury trial is scheduled for March the 4th, 2024. He also, in the notes here, the defense filed a motion to suppress the fruits of an unlawful arrest, search, seizure was allowed. And then the prosecution filed a motion to find the defendant's statements as voluntary, and that was allowed. So I'm not sure what Robert Rodriguez said in his statements, but that trial is up in March. So we have, of the remaining six, we have two trials that are set for February 7th. We have one trial that is set for March 4th. And then we have one, two, three, four. And then we have two. Am I missing someone? I feel like I'm missing someone. We have two trials that are rescheduled, but we don't have a date for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. Okay, maybe not. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Anywho, that was the update. 1, 2, 3. 3 pled guilty. 1 wasn't charged. That's 10. Oh, that was it. Is Lamar? Oh, that's what it was. Lamar Dowd that defaulted. Okay, so that's what it was. So, of the remaining 6, 1 is on the run. 2 trials are rescheduled to be determined. 2 are in February, and 1 is in March. Oh man, I'm missing a count. All right, so that is the update so far. I will do my best to keep you updated on the 2 trials that are happening in a couple of weeks in February, as well as the one in March. Excuse me. If there are any questions, news questions, please drop them in the comment section if you're watching this after the live. So that was the news portion, but I wanted to play something that is connected. That was directly about the cases and what's happening and the movement in there. But I also wanted to play this here. What was that timestamp? Did I get that down? think this is it. Yeah. I think this is it here. Okay. Yeah. One second here. I'm trying to. Here we go. I'll play it from here. I might have to skip back just a little bit. Oh. Well, before I play this, I'll address this comment. I appreciate the comment. Comment here is from a person, Tariq Bey. Islam, Moors, we do have an Allah-given right to defend ourselves with arms that is protected by the Constitution. Be smart and operate within the law. Don't put a black eye on the Moorish movement. I appreciate the comment. When you say protected by the Constitution, that would be citizens of the United States of America. And that, well, I mean, since the comment has brought it up, I'll speak on it just a little bit. I don't want to get too much into religion and beliefs, but when we're dealing with what Noble Drew Ali taught, what's in the Circle 7 Quran, it says that we are not to harm any other living being, because when we do a harm to a man, we do a wrong to Allah. So, as far as it goes, having arms and weapons and shooting other people and threatening, that's really not the way. But that's not the topic for today. Don't want to get too sidetracked. Appreciate the comment, though. And as it relates to Jamal, we can, in the rise of the Moors and them having arms, we'll bring that back around at the end. So just hold on tight. Hold on tight. Hold on tight. Now let's get to let's get to this here. I believe it starts right here. Let me check. We'll see.
And I was like, well, why did you act like you didn't know in the back parking lot? She was like, because I'm just doing my job. I said, so your job is to pretend that you don't know? She was like, I got a more impound lot, and that same lieutenant came, and I pulled her to the side. No, first she came and what happened first? Anyway, she came to the sister that we was with, and she was like, okay, do you have a certificate of title for the vehicle? She said, no, because that's not proof of ownership. She said, okay, what do you have? And she told her what she had. Vehicles in the trust, you got the buyer's order, etc. She said, okay, I'm going to release it. Of course we know. We know the history of this land. And I was like, well, why did you act like you didn't know in the back parking lot?
All right, so just to give you some context, this gonna take a couple of seconds, but it'll connect, and we'll talk about it in a second. But this brother Lamont Maurice, Consul General, he's the leader of a different spinoff Moorish group that has like sovereign citizen beliefs and teachings and practices, and he is speaking about a situation where they came up to, I think, the courthouse to support the rise of the Moors, and they were doing the whole traveling, and they don't need to present I don't remember the specifics, but ultimately some people's cars got impounded, and so now he's speaking about the interaction with some sort of law enforcement person at the scene when they're trying to get the whole car situation sorted out. So let me pick up and we'll go from there.
She was like, because I'm just doing my job. I said, so your job is to pretend that you don't know? She was like, I got a mortgage to pay. She said, but look, we're not assholes. We're not all assholes. Some of us came up in the same neighborhoods as you all, but you all think that we're all assholes, et cetera, et cetera. She punched me in the shoulder. We laughed. And I'm just sitting there like, damn, I wish I could get this on record. I was like, so did you contact FBI or something to see, you know, who we were, you know, for y'all to respond to us this way? She said, I can't disclose that to you. So, okay. But you know who the Moors are. She said, yeah, we thought that you all were rising the Moors, but apparently you're not. And I said, you're saying that because of how we respond versus how they respond. She said, yeah. And I said, okay, well, and I asked her this, to see how sincere she was going to be. I said, did you all know that Jamal was an agent? She said, not offhand. We didn't know that offhand. Eventually, we learned that he was working, you know, and got those people in trouble. It's like, damn, I wish I could have got that on record. But yeah, she gave that response, and that pretty much confirmed what Taj said and what I was experiencing. Why is it that there's?
You remember what I got early on and told you?
Was that
about that situation? If you remember,
early on the day.
Early on about the rise of the Moors.
Oh yeah. You talking about when we talked a while back?
When it first happened, and I told you about
you
the
sure
two.
did. Yeah,
and it came out.
Did. Yeah, and it came out, and it was confirmed by Massachusetts State Police Lieutenant. So the moral or the lessons behind all of this.
I'm gonna play it one more time, but I just want you to listen for it as we play it back one more time. But this is Lamont Maurice L. He's the leader of this Enforce the Constitution, different spinoff group, talking about in this interaction with this law enforcement person about, and he accuses Jamal of being an agent and poses the question to the officer, and he's claiming the officer essentially confirms that Jamal is some sort of quote unquote agent. And then additionally to that, he implies or suggests or infers that Taj Tariq Bey also feels or accused Jamal of being an agent, as well as quote unquote Dr. G. So listen again one more time. And then we'll build from there.
Laugh, and I'm just sitting there like, damn, I wish I could get this on record. I was like, so did you contact FBI or something to see, you know, who we were, you know, for y'all to respond to us this way? She said, I can't disclose that to you. So okay. But you know who the Moors are. She said, yeah, we thought that you all were rising the Moors, but apparently you're not. And I said, you're saying that because of how we respond versus how they respond. She said, yeah. And I said, okay, well, and I asked her this to see how sincere she was going to be. I said, did you all know that Jamal was an agent? She said, not offhand. We didn't know that offhand. Eventually, we learned that he was working, you know, and got those people in trouble. It's like, damn, I wish I could have got that on record. But yeah, she gave that response, and that pretty much confirmed what Taj said and what I was experiencing. Why is it that there's?
You remember what I got early on and told you?
Was that
about that situation? If you remember,
early on the day.
Early on about the rise of the Moors.
Oh yeah. You talking about when we talked a while back?
When it first happened, and I told you about the
sure
two.
Did. Yeah,
and it came out.
Yeah, and it came out, and it was confirmed by Massachusetts State Police Lieutenant. So
So I wanted to bring that context into it, things are getting a little tricky. Now we have a different spinoff Moorish group, sovereign citizen kind of group. And this guy is accusing Jamal of being an agent. He's saying that Taj accused him of being an agent. This quote unquote Dr. G is accusing Jamal of being some sort of agent. But it's also got to be fair to say the Lamont Maurice L person, he's had multiple cases in which he's been found guilty in some of them, practicing, the sovereign citizen kind of actions and beliefs, and has served time. And that Enforce the Constitution group has got some people locked up for what they're teaching. So what I would suggest, now this part is news, this is my personal opinion, Rami speaking, in particular for people that are Moorish or people that are coming into this information, please do not follow individuals like this. Noble Drew Ali didn't teach any of this kind of stuff. So I would advise for you to study the teachings of Noble Drew Ali first, and before you listen to people on YouTube or this group on Discord or this group there, and you want to try out, don't do any of that. Read and study what Noble Drew Ali said first. It will help you to discern who is being honest and sincere and who is teaching what Noble Drew Ali was actually talking about. And then you'll also be able to stay away from the people that are doing the nonsense. Walaikum salam, good brother. So I just wanted to make that clear, and also for people that are watching that maybe coming to this video for the news update, and you don't have nothing to do with Moors or Moor science, and you just seeing these people on, news or some sort of channel, and they talking about Bob. Please understand there is a legitimate organization, religious, national organization that was established by Noble Drew Ali. I don't want to get too much into it, but basically he came to teach the creed and the lineage and the ancestry, the knowledge about our people to so-called Black people and African Americans, and also to make us better citizens of the United States of America. So when you see the sovereign citizen stuff, the more sovereign citizens, please understand those are individuals and groups of people that have taken some of the teachings and perverted them, twisted them, corrupted them to do their own thing. All right. That being said, I seen like this right here. This is a perfect example. This person said Moors are foreign nationals, not U.S. citizens. When you see people talking like this, I just say to be careful, be wary. I wouldn't personally follow them, but that's my opinion. But I don't want to get too much into my opinion. I wanted to get to the other video that I had to show. Oh, right, that's what it was. Stick to the rise of the Moor stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. Stick to the rise of the Moor stuff. It was, here we go. And 47-ish. 47-21, that's about right. All right, so I wanted to play this, well, I don't want to say too much about my opinion on it first. Okay. Yeah, I want to play the video first, and then, well, I'm gonna play a couple videos first, and then I'll speak on it. This is Jamal describing the events of what happened that got them all arrested?
And who's better fit to lead a militia than someone who has active duty military service? So there was contingencies in place if we were confronted by anybody trying to hurt us or anybody trying to do anything. So that's when you start to see people come out. What they showed on the news was body cam footage that they showed some of, where I walk up to him and I reach out to shake his hand once I see him as a cop. Right? Because look, while I was in jail, that thing happened in New York where that guy killed 10 black people at a grocery store. And right before that, Dylan Roof went to a church and killed a bunch of black people. So it's not like we're just out here safe, Anyway, so I went to go see who it is. And part of our training protocol was once certain things happen, other people were going to do certain things. So if I get out first, everyone else gets out. Because that's just part of the protocol. Because if we're claiming we're part of a militia has to be well organized. And who's better fit to lead a militia than someone who has active duty military service? So there was contingencies in place if we were confronted by anybody trying to hurt us or anybody trying to do anything. So that's when you start to see people come out. What they showed on the news was we were just out on the highway with guns, blocking traffic, and that's not what happened. So Trooper Ryan Casey comes up to us.
I'm sorry. This is why we have to counter this narrative, because if the media was actually doing their jobs, we wouldn't have a problem here. But they call it like, they basically, according to their story, Jamal, he's some type of terrorist, and he hasn't served this country. Maybe he does have a criminal record. Maybe according to them, they like just pull over in the middle of the highway and point guns at people. And it's completely the opposite of what's happened. It's all on video. This motherfucker didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, so Trooper Ryan Casey shows up. He asks us what's going on. So it was allegedly, when we first got arrested, we were stopped. Then once it was time for the motion to suppress hearing, now it's community caretaking. So they changed their narrative. Under community caretaking laws in Massachusetts, as soon as the officer realizes that we don't need help, he's supposed to just let us go. Within 3 minutes, he tells us to sit tight. I have the full transcript. Some of the transcript is posted on my Instagram, where I asked him under oath, did you observe a crime? And he said he had probable cause or reasonable suspicion. There's Massachusetts law that specifies knowledge of firearms alone under the Fourth Amendment does not raise reasonable suspicion or probable cause. So based off that alone, this should be dismissed. Anyway, within 3 minutes and 10 seconds, he tells us to sit tight. He goes back to his police cruiser. He mutes his body cam, and then he calls someone. And right before he mutes it, whoever answers says, "Hey, buddy." So it sounds like a personal call to me. Anyway, after a while, that's when the Wakefield police officer shows up. And mind you, I only know this after the fact, after I see the body cam footage. Because to me, it's, you came, you asked us what's going on. I told you we're going to Maine. We're trying to fill up this lead vehicle, and we're going to continue on our peaceable journey, which is allowable according to United States federal law. It's called peaceful journey laws. And there's case law in Massachusetts that says if you're traveling from one state to another and you're abiding by your home state's gun laws, you don't even have to consider the gun laws of the state you're traveling through, because that's not your final destination.
It's all there in black and white. That alone, I mean, the Second Amendment alone, but that alone,
yeah,
you're not in jail. You're not dealing with this.
This is case law from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So, I'm giving you some of the things after the fact because I seen the body cam footage. At the time, I didn't know what was going on. You asked us what's going on. I told you. You were supposed to just let us go. I'm under the impression that they're going to let us go. Another officer shows up. The Wakefield police officer shows up. He was also in the Marines. I
wanted to stop there, and I'm about to play the body cam footage. And I wanted to play Jamal's description of events because I thought it was really interesting. Am I unmuted? Yeah. I thought it was really interesting. One, that he was saying that, that as we understand, police are supposed to have a reasonable suspicion to further investigate or, ask more questions, and that he felt they were just supposed to find out what he was doing, that they didn't need any assistance, and just let them, the police officer was just supposed to let them go on their way. And it seemed reasonable to him. So, he didn't understand why they just couldn't go on their way. And he also made it a point to say, that just having the appearance or the possession of firearms alone is not enough to cause reasonable suspicion. So I just wanted to put that in context. And then let's actually watch together the footage from the body cam from the police officer himself. You can see what went down exactly. Alrighty. So, man, cruising. You know what I mean? He driving for a little while, pulling up next to him. Slowing down. There's no audio right now, so I'm just narrating for you. Pulling up, slowed up, put it in park. All right. We get things live. Making go. Now. Here we go.
Oh! What's going on, man?
My name's Jamal.
Yeah.
We're with a local militia from Rhode Island. We're headed to Maine. We don't plan on making any unnecessary stops. We have fuel in our truck, so we're going to gas up here so that way we can just keep going through.
All right, I'm going to need you. Sit tight real quick, all right? I need you to sit in the car, all right? Listen, I just need to make sure everything's good. I mean, you understand, but it's a little different.
No, I understand.
Things that normally do.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
That's fine. Do you guys have your licenses on you?
No licenses.
You have no licenses?
No. Can you call the supervisor, please?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to pause right here. As you can see, about 3 minutes into the interaction, the officer one, he's walking up. They have the weapons on him already. Like, hey, what's going on? Then he's like, I need you guys to sit tight, figure it out. He's saying, hey, man, can you guys get in the car? He doesn't know who they are, what's going on. It's two people. They got a gun. He don't know what the situation. Could you guys just sit tight for a second? Then he asked, do you guys have, was it license? I believe the first question, does he have, let me rewind it, just so I'm sure. Was it?
It's a little different.
I understand.
Things that normally do.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
That's fine. Do you guys have your licenses on you?
Do you guys have your licenses on you? So let's recap. Reasonable suspicion. This officer, mind you, this is middle of the night, walks up, sees a car on the side of the road. He's checking to make sure they're okay. He sees the guy with a long arm weapon on him. You're not even supposed to have those. That's already suspicious. He's cool. He says, hey, can you guys wait in the car? They don't do that. He asks, do you have your licenses? They say no. You don't have licenses. You got your guns out. To me, that's reasonably suspicious to investigate further. Let's just watch a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And mind you, I'm not claiming to be an expert on law. I've never been trained in any sort of police officer kind of training. Just a regular American citizen observing what's going on seems kind of suspicious to me.
No licenses.
You have no licenses?
No. Can you call the supervisor, please?
Yes, that's fine.
Thank you.
I-22 to 1274. Sir, I'm gonna stop 95 northbound, probably North Ave. Can you slide this way?
Yeah, from I'll be in road. You say you're northbound or southbound?
Northbound, probably North Ave.
I-22, you want me to start Wakefield out there?
If you could, yeah. All right, so none of you guys have a license on you?
No.
Who's driving?
He's in the car right now.
Okay. Does he have a license?
No, we don't have it with us.
No, with it.
No. Okay.
So do you have any forms of identification at all?
No, we don't.
Okay. So you said you're a militia from Maine?
Rhode Island, but we're going to Maine.
Rhode Island. Okay.
I just wanted to highlight that he said they don't have any forms of identification on them. So just the regular people here. Take the Moorish stuff away. We just regular people observing this. Is it reasonable to expect a police officer in the middle of the night that pulls up and he got guns on you, but you don't have any license, registration, or any identification whatsoever to just let those people go on their way? Does that seem reasonable? Honestly, come on now. Let me continue.
And
I can leave you my name and contact information. If that's,
yeah, that's fine.
All right. I'll write it down. Hey, can y'all hear me?
So what's the what do you got? What's you guys' big plans?
So I have private land in Maine, so we're gonna do some training up there.
You have what in Maine?
Private land in Maine. Yeah, a few acres. We already spoke with the sheriff of the county, of the town. She said it's fine.
How deep up in Maine?
Huh?
How deep up in Maine are you guys?
Bangor.
Yeah. You guys all from Rhode Island, or you guys just meet?
Yeah.
What part?
Kentucky.
I was just in Block Island last weekend.
Block Island, yeah. It's a great place to be there on 4th of July. I'll write it down for you.
All right. If I could just get your name, date of birth, and social, I could write down.
I don't have a social.
You don't have a social?
No.
Were you born in the United States?
Yep.
I've watched this a few times. Let me rewind that 1 second. It's funny because of the conversation that's happening right now. Listen carefully to what the officer is asking Jamal. He asked him about his social security, and then he asked a particular question. And listen to the response.
Island, or you guys just meet?
Yeah.
What part?
Kentucky.
I was just in Block Island last weekend.
Block Island, yeah. It's a great place to be there on 4th of July. I'll write it down for you.
All right. If I could just get your name, date of birth, and social, I could write down.
I don't have a social.
You don't have a social?
No.
Were you born in the United States?
Yep.
The officer asked, or the state trooper, he asked, were you born in the United States? And Jamal said yes. He didn't say he was born in the Moorish Empire, or he was born in the Moroccan Empire, or he was born in Morocco, or he was born in a Mexum, or he was born in Moorish America. What are the other ones? He didn't say any of those other kind of answers that I've heard, Taj, Tariq Bey, and those kind of groups come up with. When the officer asked him, "Were you born in the United States?" he said, "Yes." If you're born in the United States, are you or are you not considered a U.S. citizen? I'm just wondering. I think maybe I'm confused. If you're born in the United States, aren't you a U.S. citizen? Let's continue just a little bit more on this, and then we're gonna wrap this all up.
Receive. Yo, I'm just gonna go down the line here, okay?
Oh, that's fine. You don't need their contact information, do you?
So I'm just whatever he wants to give me. That's fine.
You don't have to give him anything.
No, you actually don't. I mean, you guys aren't driving a car or anything like that.
No, I just want to make sure that we can continue going towards where we're going.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the situation now.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
on the highway. I see you guys.
completely.
You guys got an AR-15s here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand.
Is the guy driving the car still up here?
Yeah, he's in the car.
I'm gonna go talk to him. You guys got two vehicles here?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't mind, can you just stand here?
Well, I
want
to make sure. I want to make sure he's safe. I'm fine. I was in the Marine Corps.
No, that's fine. What's going on, man? You got your license on you? Huh? Traveling right now. Okay. You need a license to be able to drive in Massachusetts. Okay. We're not doing this traveling thing. Huh? I'll take that for now. Yeah. Thank you. Do you have a registration for the vehicle?
I know what I'm done.
There's no registration for the vehicle. Okay, it just goes off the plate here. I'll go right back. Just sit tight. If you don't mind, can you just stand over there? I just don't want people getting freaked out.
I think that's enough. man. But in that last piece, it was kind of difficult to hear, and I didn't feel like highlighting too much. But the person in the driver's seat, he tried to use the sovereign citizen. We're not traveling. I mean, we're not driving. We're traveling. That Taj Tariq Bey. And the trooper was like, "We're not doing that. We're not doing none of that." He was like, "Do you got anything?" And it looked like he showed him probably one of those, RV Bay ID, some sort of, printed up ID. And he was like, "Fine, I'll take that." And, you can watch the rest, and they proceed to go from there, and, it played out how it played out. But I just wanted to bring those two videos in context, because the way Jamal described the scene of events was just, hey, we was over there getting the gas. The trooper came up. We're supposed to just tell him, hey, this is what we're doing. We're fine. And the trooper was supposed to go on his way. But when you actually look at the footage, you see, well, they had their guns on them, which is not, it's illegal in that state to have those kinds of weapons on you. They didn't have any licenses or registration. And it's the middle of the night. It's several individuals I don't see how any reasonable person would think an officer, trooper would just say, "Yeah, y'all good. Just keep going. Y'all can do what you do what you're doing," with no identification, no register, no nothing. But this is what the court of law is for. The facts of the case will be heard in the court, and go from there. Any other comments before I go ahead and close up? Jamal was nervous. It's okay. I was in the Marine Corps. What? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? That saying is really funny to me. But I do get what you're saying. It seemed like, in my opinion, Jamal was trying to ease the tension of the officer, saying, "Hey, I was in the Marines, so you could trust me. I know what I'm doing." But from the officer's perspective, I mean, it's a bunch of dudes with some weapons. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm not. Real quick, let me just address this person real quick. Where is the comment? Where's a bunch of nonsense? This person here, the USAR. Again, people that's watching this, Moors. If you're not a Moor, just a regular American citizen, don't got nothing to do with this, just stumbled on the channel. If you see this group, USAR, or the United States American Republic Moorish group, please understand they're nonsense. They're another spinoff Moorish sovereign citizen type group. Do not, I'm warning you, please do not associate or promote or support those kind of activities or organizations. It is the wrong thing to do. PSA, Moorish PSA, service announcement. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? No. Is there any other questions before I get up out of here? I should say that. Is there any other questions? Oh, okay. Here's a question. Does anyone desire that these guys get locked up? Does anyone desire that these ones be set free, whether they be right or wrong relative to the European standard? I don't know what the I don't know what the European standard is. I don't really desire anyone to be locked up per se, but I mean, I think I desire for justice to be had. I desire for people to be smart, and I think that those individuals did not make some good decisions. Yeah, 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 yeah. I feel you. I feel you on that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, I don't see any other questions. Any other questions before I get up out of here related to? Oh, goodness gracious. Any other questions? I'm gonna address this to be more specific. Any other questions related to the rise of the Moors? Yeah. USAR. What's a national? Since you say that you have a nationality, answer the question. We can look up the definition of a national. More to that, what's the point of me answering that question? If I didn't have a nationality, I could still answer that question. You just look up what the definition of a national is. But what does that have to do with this entire video of the rise of the Moorish case? Nothing. This is the truth. USAR, whoever you are behind the account, you and your group are up to, sovereign citizen activities and behaviors. This is just the facts of the matter. Go look up what is sovereign citizens. Go look it up. The FBI has defined it. You can look up activities of sovereign citizens. You can look this up. It's not my opinion. I would suggest, whoever you are, you stop. Probably not going to listen, but that's all right. But I am going to continue to warn people against groups such as yours. This is no disrespect to you as a human being. You know what I mean? I pray and hope that you make the right decisions and stop doing that. You know what I mean? But we all have our choices to make. Yeah. That's my opinion. Sovereign citizens don't apply to USAR. If anything, you are. Got it. For sure. This a good one to that's a good one to wrap it up. You were talking some nonsense as well. Afro Samurai. Rami, you need to go back to a Moorish Science Temple of America temple and get the basics. You are just like Jamal, taking a little bit of Moorish information and running away with it the wrong way. Just like Jamal, I am not charged with felonies. I didn't get another 9 individuals charged with felonies, and I didn't get my fiance or wife charged with crimes as well. So no, on a very basic level, I'm not just like Jamal. Beyond that, I'm not. I didn't create or support or promote a militia group such as Jamal did. I was not online brandishing weapons and guns and firearms and telling the world and the internet that I would shoot anybody that tried to come inside without a warrant. I didn't do anything like that. So I don't really appreciate the comparison. As it relates to the Moorish Science Temple of America and getting into a temple, what I've been doing is working on helping to correct the organization. It's a lot of nonsense that's been going on, and a lack of accountability, Afro Samurai. And so I've been addressing the organization internally as well as externally, speaking about the Supreme Grand Council and the lack thereof, which is what gave way for groups like Jamal and the Rise of the Moor Militia, or the USAR, the Republic, or Taj Tariq Bey and his group, or CM Bey and his group. All of these spin-off Moorish sovereign citizen groups and actions, these all happen because the Moorish Science Temple of America is lacking the proper organizational components. You know what I mean? The Supreme Grand Council being the main one. So I am working to correct some of the issues that's going on with the organization. But I do appreciate you at least expressing yourself. I would just say that me and Jamal are not just alike. We are very far from being alike. I think that is just about it. Yeah. Yeah. So on that note, if there are any other questions about the rise of the Moore case or the news, please drop them in the comment section. I will respond there. Any other questions it's like about the Moorish movement and that kind of stuff, I prefer you do it on a different video. I try to keep, this one about news and tied directly to this case. Oh man, let me oh, chat going crazy. Chat going crazy. Oh, I need to laugh. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. God bless. Get some laughs in. Don't follow the nonsense. Tap in with the good brother New More Order if you want that work. Because he got the smoke ready. Much love. Keep shining. Love is the key. Love is the way. Much love to you and yours. Let's have a great day.